27, I'm lost in the shadows of my own expectations. The dreams that once danced in my mind now feel like fleeting stars in the night sky. Each night, I rest my head, haunted by the gap between who I am and who I thought I'd be. I recall the backyard adventures, where each tree was a kingdom and every hill a conquest. In those innocent days, I dreamt of becoming a hero, a great man. I dreamt of traveling the world and making memories, like the men in the movies. I dreamt of happiness, love, adventure, success. I never thought I'd be this lost, this scared, this confused and sad. Yet, as the years passed, the vibrant hues faded into the monotony of reality. I need something, anything, to help me.
Between the ages of 18 and 30, many men will share a similar story. They'll resonate with the feeling that something is missing, a sense that they're not truly living, or a perception of having lost their way. It's the era of the lost years, a low stasis that, without guidance, can trap individuals indefinitely. But here's the crucial part: you can go beyond it. I've surpassed it, gone far beyond, and now I want to offer answers, guidance, and a way out for those that find themselves lost in this perplexing space. Today's video was planned to be about Argus Panoptes, the 10,000-eyed Greek guardian, a Stoic metaphor of character, but plans have changed. During a visit to the Shaolin Temple Europe, a call from a lost 27-year-old friend prompted a shift in focus. It's made me realize that many men experience this stage in life, and they need more than just a passing answer. The ages 18 to 30 can be daunting. Societal expectations dictate that we should have it all figured out. Friends from school seem to have moved on and found their paths, leaving some feeling stuck in comparison. Now, let's jump into 5 Stoic lessons that men learn too late in life that will propel you beyond this rut and offer you a fresh perspective on your existence. In the vast expanse of our minds, a paradox unfolds, a battleground where imagination and hope, untamed and boundless, stretch far beyond the limits of the tangible. Growing up, we weave dreams of the life we desire, crafting an ethereal realm where potential knows no bounds, and we dwell without resistance. Yet, reality often shatters these ideal hopes. Before we embark on a Stoic journey ahead, I want to share a sentence with you that completely changed my existence. At 22, I was adrift in the sea of uncertainties. I yearned for answers. I mourned unlived lives. Songs and movies left me feeling empty because I was missing something that was evident in these medias. And then came the revelation. Your problem is not a psychological problem, it's a philosophical one. In that moment, I stopped living for ideas. Life exists in this moment in front of you, and that is enough. It is not like the movies, it is not like the songs, it is not like your imagination. It's this in front of you, and that is okay. Gradually, the veiled thoughts that haunted my mind dissipated, and I was left with a newfound clarity. I hope you also find the same clarity that once changed my life. Lesson 1, and this is something that many people ignore because it's either too simple, not manly, or they just get it wrong. But this is the idea of gratitude. I remember for many years I was in a dark place coming to and from the building sites. Everything was bad, everything was dark, and life was unfair. But then I read a quote by Emperor Marcus Aurelius, who probably wrote this quote whilst defending the Roman Empire on the battlefield. When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. So I did just that. On my walks to and from work, I decided to practice gratitude. I'd think of 3 things that I was grateful for, and I really thought for a few minutes how these things made me feel good, made me feel whole and full. And it felt fake, it felt forced, it felt rather uncomfortable. But over the months, there was a shift in my mind, where instead of looking for the negative and the dark, I started to feel gratitude and look for direction, and I felt that clarity and direction. Lesson 2 that many men learn too late in life, and this is something you won't hear often from the academic side of the Stoics. I've taken this advice 3 times in life, but for whatever reason, probably due to ignorance, I ignore it at some point, forget about it, and then I start feeling low energy, tired, a bit down, don't have a clear mind. And then my brother always reminds me that I need to work out, I need to do exercise. And I say, I don't have enough time, I'm too tired, I'm not feeling good. And he says, you'll find more time, more energy, and you'll feel better, which sounds like an oxymoron. But sure enough, when I start working out, after a week or two, my energy comes back, my clarity comes back, and the time comes back because it increases my endorphins, gets me moving better. As Epictetus, a former slave-turned-philosopher said, our strength and physical abilities can help facilitate virtue. And no, this will not fix all your problems, but it will get you on a better path. It will create your foundation, your body, your mind. It will have a better foundation to work towards these goals. Being stuck in this point in life can be down to you holding on to the person you once was and the person that you dreamed of. Two things that do not exist. A friend of mine went on a recent walk. When he reached the apex of the hill, he looked back where his school once was. He could see himself, a young hopeful boy. Looking out the school window, he'd see the hill and say, when I'm older, I'll never see this view again. I'll be far away from here on great adventures. 10 years later, his life had circled back round in that exact spot and he did not feel good about it. You have to let go. You have to let go of ideas how things should be. You need to stop trying to control life and accept what is. Right now, you are no longer that hopeful boy, and you are not the dream that that boy once had. You are you, and all the struggles have led you to this one turning point. All your friends may seem to have moved on and are living their life, but this is not true. You need to stop comparing yourself to others, especially to people on social media. This is not their life. This is a snapshot of their perfection. What are they doing when they're not posting pictures to receive dopamine hits? This is the people they are. This is their true life. Remember, they are not better than you. They're just better at marketing their life. Some things you see as people's greatest blessing, a house, a relationship, a job, the travel, these things are oftentimes their greatest burden. I've heard this a lot from friends and people asking for help. They have the house, they have the car, they have the job, they have the relationship, and these are their greatest burdens. They're not happy with these things, they feel trapped by these things and they want to get out. So they will look at you, the person without the down payment on the car, the person that's got a stable home rather than traveling the world, and they are looking at this wishing that they had it because the grass is always greener on the other side. You need to let go of all of these ideas and focus only on what you can control. As Epictetus said, within our power are motivation, aversion, desire, opinion, not within our power, our health, wealth, reputation, office, and in a word, whatever is not of our own doing. This is an essential principle to Stoicism, and it's an essential principle to having control over your life and having direction and confidence within your life. It is called the Dichotomy of Control. If you want to learn more about the Dichotomy of Control, read chapter 3 of my free guide on becoming unshakable using Stoicism. Lesson 4. This present moment is the turning point where you change your life. It is the only moment that exists, and it's the only moment where you can change. This present moment is the turning point where you change your life. It is the only place it can exist. Life as a child felt so grand, so vivid, so exciting and powerful. Then this magic starts to fade. That's you letting go of the present. You start living in the future and past, or start calculating the present. All we have is the present. I remember as a child looking up into the sky as water poured down onto my face from the heavens, the sound, the smell, the beams of light shining through. It was magic and it was everything. Then I grew older. Suddenly the rain is a nuisance. It's going to cause more traffic. There's going to be a leak. I'm going to be late for work. Tomorrow the grass is going to be flooded. Yesterday was rubbish. I'm not being present anymore. We have lost our ability to be present and we make life so much more confusing and so noisy. Bruce Lee said, hack away at the inessential. The closer to the source, the less wastage there is. And this is essential. Stop trying to do so much social media, so much productivity, so many things, because all of this gets in the way of the only thing we have, the gift of the present moment. It is like the muddy stream. If you want it to clear, rather than thrashing around, trying to clear it, doing all you can to clear this water, you just let it be still, and slowly the things start to calm and you can see directly through the water. Our minds are like this. When we accept doing less, the noise quietens. We ask ourselves questions daily, important questions, questions that need answering, but instead of giving ourselves time to answer them, we pull out our phone and fill the void of boredom. These questions are your life. They need answers. This is one of the reasons people feel so lost and confused. You've been asking yourself questions for so many years, but you've never given yourself time to answer these questions. Before we get into the last point, I just want to explain something. I'm not diagnosing any of you. This is just advice that has worked for me, and I'm sharing it in hopes that it will work for you. But good advice for the wrong person is worse than bad advice. The algorithm feeds you what you tell it you want to see. This is the same for YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. You're telling it you want to see these things. So, if you have anger issues and you believe that another demographic is the problem, then you start to see videos and ideas that are telling you that another demographic is the problem. And they will never focus on the real problem, which is your anger. So, rather than facing the real problem, which is your internal anger, you start to face this new problem that you've made up, and you look for videos and ideas that justify the way you are feeling. You cannot just diagnose yourself and seek content that confirms your ideas and suspicions. Sometimes we need professional guidance. Lesson 5, and I think this is the most important, but most men will probably ignore it because I'm always giving this advice, and people that take it, it's life-changing. What is it? Talk to people. Share how you're feeling. And I know people don't think it's manly, so they try to bottle things up. They don't want to show this weakness. But if you share the way you're feeling, your true feelings with other men or women, you're not just getting your feelings out there, maybe getting another perspective, getting help, but you will see that other people feel this way, so you won't feel alone. But you're also sharing with these other people that feel alone, that they're not alone. So it creates a community that can help each other. People think it's not manly to be vulnerable, but I think it is a powerful and takes so much strength to be vulnerable. You're purposely letting your guard down so you can receive external help. And you're purposely being vulnerable in the knowledge that you will get better. That takes strength. You can cry, you can complain, you can feel lost, you can feel like giving up, you can ask for help. These are just your ways of not giving up. This is the path that you've taken to keep going and to pursue a better version of yourself. Marcus Aurelius compared it to a group of soldiers storming the castle walls. Many are climbing over, but one man cannot get over the walls. And if this man refuses to hand up over the wall, he is actually giving up on the mission. So him refusing help is him giving up on the mission. And if he asks for that help, then he's deciding that he wants to carry on. Ask for help, talk, it's okay. Share it in the comments. You'll start to say that other people feel exactly how you feel, and you won't feel so alone, because the worst things are feeling alone and feeling confused. When you get these ideas out there, it makes more sense, and you can get help from other people, form a community. One profound concept of Stoicism is the idea of human flourishing, living up to your full potential. The Stoics call this eudaimonia. If you want to learn how to achieve eudaimonia, I explain it so well in this video with the example of Sam Sulek, an awkward young bodybuilder who has become one of the most viral sensations ever. Even if you don't like bodybuilding or Sam Sulek, I know you'll really benefit from learning how to step into the triangle of eudaimonia to become the best version of yourself.